morning, class 12. Today we're going to start with Vietnam War, which is a very important event, okay, in the course of the Cold War. Now, as we talked about the proxy wars, no, in the course of the Cold War, where US and USSR was involved in the proxy war. So this is one important event, okay, in Southeast Asia, Vietnam War, okay, where you can see the involvement of both the two superpowers, that is US and USSR. Now you have here Indochina, okay, it was made up of three independent states. Later on, they were independent countries, but earlier they were called as Indochina together, and these were your Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Okay, so this is also known. Now you know the Vietnam War was fought in two phases. The first phase and the second phase, also known as your Indochina War. Now, children, please do not get mixed up with Indochina, what we call as Indochina War here, but the war between China and India, okay, that is called Sino-Indo War, SINO. But that was the war that was fought here in Vietnam, okay, and this is the Indochina, that is INDO and Indochina. Now, why was it called Indochina? Okay, it is because of the influence of two cultures here in this place, that is India and as well as French culture. Okay, therefore it's called your Indochina. Therefore, the three states together is called your Indochina. Okay, now since 19th century, this was the colony of France. Okay, and hence it is called your Indochina, right? So please have a look at the map here, French Indochina. Okay, now colonial period here because Indochina was a colony of France, so it was known then from 1860 to 1941, it was known as French Indochina. Now 1941, Japan takes over China in the course of World War II. Okay, so till 1945, now this part, okay, was now under the control of Japan. Okay, because it is Japanese invasion. But in 1945, with the attack on Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the fall of Japan in the Second World War, this part of Vietnam, okay, had to be surrendered now. This part of Indochina, that is Vietnam, had to be surrendered to China, that is the northern China. Okay, so the northern troops, they surrendered it to China, okay, and southern troops, because China was also then involved in the Cold War, and southern troops surrendered it to United Kingdom, that was UK. Now the part of Vietnam, that is your northern Vietnam, okay, that was surrendered to China. China handed over to your local governing local party, okay, that was known as Viet Minh of northern China, okay, under your leader Ho Chi Minh. So it was given to Ho Chi Minh. Now southern troops, it was handed over to United Kingdom. Now this part of this part of Vietnam was again asked by the French. Since it was a French colony, okay, French pleaded UK, they wanted that part of Vietnam, that is southern Vietnam, and United Kingdom was also ready to give that. But the local people there now did not want any more of your foreign invasion, foreign intervention. Okay, therefore you have the first Indo-China War fought, okay, in 1954. Okay, so first Indian-China War, 1946 to 54. Okay, because you had the colonial intervention, and again France wanted it once more back. Okay, but the local people did not want. So Viet Minh, that's a local party of Vietnam. Okay, that was led by Ho Chi Minh versus your French loyalists. That means the people who were in France, who were in Vietnam, but who were still loyal to France, okay, and their army. But finally, you see French were defeated, okay, and you have the Geneva Accord signed in 1954. Okay, now Geneva Accords was also not, a total peace. Okay, it was not able to bring total peace between, North Vietnam and South Vietnam. Okay, because of the involvement of the two superpowers, US and USSR. Where you see in USSR, communist, okay, supports your northern Vietnam, whereas USA supports your southern Vietnam. So now Geneva Accord, okay, the peace treaty, okay, because the French army had lost, okay, the army so much so, okay, that they themselves, okay, now wanted peace with the Vietnamese, that is the North Vietnamese. So the Geneva Accord was signed in 1954, and now Vietnam was partitioned into north and south at 17-degree latitude. Okay, that 17th parallel that is called, okay, and that is the boundary line, partition line between North Vietnam and South Vietnam. So finally we see North Vietnam, okay, comes under the communist rule, that is Ho Chi Minh, supported by USSR, and South, that is pro-Western, okay, that means pro-USA, supported by Ngo Dien Diem. Okay, he was the president, supported, backed by USA, and he becomes the president of South Vietnam. He's known as Ngo Dien Diem. Then finally we have Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam. They gain independence from colonial rule. That is no French intervention and no UK and United States. But still you can see this becomes the battleground of the Cold War, where you have the proxy war that was fought between, proxy war that was fought by US and USSR, okay, and supporting both North and South Vietnam. Now you can see now North Vietnam, the capital is Hanoi, okay, for North Vietnam, and South Vietnam, the capital is Saigon. Okay, Saigon, and that is all supported by, so you have in the middle line separating the latitude, North Vietnam and South Vietnam. As I said, Geneva conflict, okay, still did not bring peace between the two states. Okay, you still had ongoing conflict here. As I said, it becomes a battleground, okay, for your Cold War. Okay, so Ngo Dien Diem, who was supported by USA, was very corrupt and autocratic ruler. Okay, and then you have North and South still continue fighting even after 1955. Okay, now this was what USA failed again, because they always proved themselves, okay, to be one of the most respected country in the form of your being a democratic government, okay, but then fighting proxy wars in Southeast Asia here and supporting a dictator, an autocratic ruler. Okay, it goes against their principle of being a democratic country and calling themselves as the arsenal of democracy. Okay, North and South, they continue fighting even after 1955. So this is an ongoing civil war between North Vietnam and South Vietnam. Now you have Viet Cong in South Vietnam. Okay, you have the guerrilla force that they were known as the Viet Cong. Okay, now they started fighting against this autocratic ruler, that is Ngo Dien Diem. Okay, that was supported by US. Okay, don't get confused, children, with Viet Minh. Viet Minh was the local party of North Vietnam. It was supported by Ho Chi Minh. But this Viet Cong, it is of South Vietnam. Okay, and that is your guerrilla war. It's a guerrilla force. Okay, and therefore this now comes to be known as the Second Indochina War, or we call it as the second phase of the Vietnam War. And the Vietnamese, they do not call as a Vietnam War, they call it as an American War, okay, because of American intervention. And it is of course proved as well, because America only wanted to contain communism in Southeast Asia, and you know the meaning of contain, children, okay, to stop where it is, okay, did not want the further spread, as we talked about spreading of communism in your Eastern Europe. The same here in Southeast Asia also, okay, they thought of the domino theory, or the domino policy. Okay, so that communism does not spread in the whole of Southeast Asia and all over the globe. Okay, therefore USA, okay, now the US president, okay, at that time was John F. Kennedy. He sent advisors to help now South Vietnam, okay, to help South Vietnam. Now 1961, you have John F. Kennedy, who becomes the president of USA. Okay, so a lot of supporter advisors were sent. So he is John F. Kennedy. You can see here. And now the very important incident here. Till now we could see it was a kind of a proxy war, okay, where you could see just North Vietnamese and South Vietnamese fighting against a civil war against each other. But with this Gulf of Tonkin war, okay, that's another very important event in the course of Vietnam War, okay, where you see that officially USA declares, okay, that it is in war. And this is one of the most this is the most one of the shameful event you can say in the history of US, because USA lost this war first of all. Okay, and why did US lose the war? It is because the people, the local people, are very much aware, okay, of their geographical area, okay, of Vietnam. And Vietnam was a tropical area, and these people were all local people, and they were adept with your you call it guerrilla warfare, okay, whereas the US soldiers did not know the area well, and of course they were not adept to your guerrilla warfare also. And that's one reason we can say why Vietnam, where US lost the Vietnam War. The Gulf of Tonkin War is a very important event, as I said, okay, where you have your US Maddox, okay, was attacked by US naval ship. This is known as a USS Maddox. Okay, that's a naval ship, and that was attacked by the North Vietnamese. On this pretext, okay, you can see that USA sends its force to South Vietnam. Okay, but later on it is found that this was all staged, it is all planned. Okay, because USA just wanted to enter the war. Okay, and so officially declared that it is in war with your war with Vietnam. Okay, that is what it wanted to prove. Now then 1964, coming to your second phase, we have the change of presidentship also, and he is your Lyndon Johnson. Okay, the next president after the John F. Kennedy. So you have the very important incident taking place here, and that's the Gulf of Tonkin incident. It is called, children, and this is also very important when you come in point of view of your ISC as well. Okay, and the Vietnam War itself in the course of Cold War is very important because this has not been removed from your syllabus. Okay, now Gulf of Tonkin incident 1964. In August 1964, a US naval ship, that is USS Maddox, that is called, okay, naval ship, was attacked by North Vietnamese boat in the Gulf of Tonkin, that is in Vietnam. Okay, and now please have this word, okay, this term, not word, term, Operation Rolling Thunder. What is the Operation Rolling Thunder? Operation Rolling Thunder over here is US deciding, okay, to launch a huge bombing offensive against North Vietnam, okay, which intended to do. So that was your bombing operation, okay, by US against your Vietnamese. So that is called your Operation Rolling Thunder. So please have that in mind, the term associated with Vietnam War. And with this, you have US also passing the resolution in the Gulf of Tonkin resolution, passing the resolution, okay, and call it as the Gulf of Tonkin resolution, and it said officially USA is at war. Okay, now with this you have USA, okay, sending about 5 lakh soldiers in Vietnam. Okay, and it was a huge bombing campaign. Okay, the bombing was done much folded times, much folded times than the World War One and World War Two combined. So you can imagine how hard it was, okay, on the people of Vietnam, the children, okay, the women, okay, they were all shot, they were thrown with all this napalm and Agent Orange. That was one of the, so this is a chemical warfare. Okay, it was not kind of a traditional warfare where armies they came, okay, in front of face to face with the tanks, with the rollers, okay, with the guns, and not that, but it was kind of a conventional kind of a warfare. Sorry, not a conventional type of warfare, but it is chemical warfare where they use all kind of measures, okay, against Vietnam. And one most important, the horrifying, okay, things that USA could have ever done was using of napalm and Agent Orange. Now that's a chemical napalm. Okay, why did they use it? Because I already said, okay, it was a tropical area, okay, where you have marshy land, okay, the terrain is very marshy. Then you have all trees, okay, and then they could, and because you see that they were adapt to guerrilla warfare, so the US could not make out, okay, their hiding places of the North Vietnamese. So for that they had to burn the total forest, and for that they used this napalm, that's a chemical agent where they could burn the entire forest. Okay, and Agent Orange, also a chemical that spread on the trees where leaves could easily fall, and we can even see the consequences even today, okay, where Vietnam still suffering, okay, with the in the forested area. It takes a lot of time now, still not grown, okay, and the children and women, okay, all the disabled till date. We can see it is because of the aftermath of the Vietnamese war using of napalm and your Agent Orange, and that's really horrifying, children. And you can also have the look of the pictures here, okay, where US is using its plane, okay, to throw the chemical, that is napalm, here to burn the entire forest. Okay, and you can see the forest, how it was all burned into ashes to find out the enemy. Okay, but not Vietnamese are very much adept, as I said, to the environment, because they were born and brought up in that place, and they knew the entire terrain. So it becomes a very tough time, okay, on your US soldiers. Okay, children, so today we shall stop here. Now tomorrow we shall see a lot about your anti-war sentiments in US, what happened against the president, okay, when they got together, real news about American president, okay, we're trying to prove that yes, we are the arsenal of democracy, and this is how they were involved in the Vietnam War and how they were losing their soldiers, US soldiers. Okay, so all the people in America goes against it. Okay, children, so I'm going to come with that tomorrow. So till here for today, please go through it and make a note of it, and please send it as your today's assignment. Thank you, children.